You were one of the first customers I had when I started to fish, and I could see you were way ahead of the game for the local food.
You know, Rita and I started the restaurant in '99, and it seemed like a logical thing.
Yeah.
Just this, why wouldn't we call you? I think with herring, I think it's normal for people to say, well, why herring? Well, the answer is because it's right there.
I'm up early. I've always been a morning person. In the summer, you know, I'm up at 4. This time of year it's darker, I'm up at 5 or so. And try to get out on the lake before the sun's up. Perishable product, you want to get at the nets and the fish right away. And plus, the wind usually starts to blow later on in the morning. You know, there's days when there's 0, but a nice day is just 2 boxes, 50 pounds apiece, 100 pounds, just perfect. I don't have to kill myself, and I can get a fair amount of fillets out of that. That's just right. I have 0 problems with marketing. I tell you, the local food thing kicked in, and it's just not a problem. I basically only have like 5 wholesale customers, and that's it. That's all I want. All the places I don't even call, I just know when they need it, I just show up. It's wonderful, and they're very super appreciative. It's great fun to deliver the fish. I could easily expand, but I don't want to. I just want to be a single operator, and that's it. I'm out of Knife River, and I've been both directions, west and east. An ideal day is like the wind isn't howling. And what most people don't realize is that the currents are what actually affect us. And that's difficult because you can't even get the nets up. There's so much pressure on them. And so going back to your question, an ideal day is a light wind and a light current in the same direction. It's very nice. It seldom happens. Seldom.
What do you think of the herring that you're
I love it. I love it. And the sandwich is wonderful. And I get a lot of feedback from people. They said, "Did you supply the herring there?" "Yeah, I did." He says, "I love that sandwich."
So from your fisherman perspective, and then also you're a consumer, how would you tell somebody who's never had herring before what they can expect to taste?
Yeah, and it's very good. It's light and tasty, and yeah. I don't want to say oily fish, but there's oil there. It's a good oil. It's the omega-3.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think that keeps it moist. It doesn't dry out at all.
Yeah.
So.
In the kitchen, we like it because there's a forgiveness to it. So in the hustle and bustle of a restaurant, we can be very successful with a little bit of latitude because it doesn't dry out very quickly because of that oil. It's nice. So it's a friendly fish to cook as well.
Yeah.
The very simple beginning is just taking the herring, and we're going to lay out the prosciutto and wrap it around like a blanket or a cozy of sorts. Then we're going to be bringing the fish into the saute pan. It could be on a baking sheet, which would be just fine as well. And add a little bit of butter to our fish and some white wine. We're just going to enter this into the oven. There's a promise that's made to a lot of cooks is that if you can just be creative with food, you can be wildly successful. I think there's that false promise. I think you know, there's a million people that are trying to do that. So it's not just the food. It's the timing, it's the other resources, it's the community, because if the community can't support you through your learning on a regular basis, they have to accept that you will fail, and they have to be willing to try you again. And I think I had that luxury from customers because we developed human relationships, and I had customers that would say, I really didn't care for that. You should do this to be different or to fix it. It's too salty or whatever. And I think from there we were able to make the adjustments without having to just stop. So we're gonna have a top and a bottom to our sandwich. We're gonna end up making 2 of them here. We have some lemon basil aioli, our mayonnaise. We're just gonna put a little of that. Then we're gonna use some bitter greens. So in kind of a winter green, we use frisee. Here we have a little fennel mustard vinaigrette. So we're just gonna drizzle a little bit on our greens. Toss it loosely. I like to put it as a nest on the bottom of our sandwich. So I'm just gonna break this, and if the fish breaks neatly, we can tell that it's done. So like right here we have that white all the way through. It's not dry, it's still moisture on the outside. Our pan still has some liquid in it, which is some of the fat from the prosciutto, as well as the fish, and of course the butter that we added. I think it's kind of a Scandinavian imperative to have butter on everything. And then I like the way this piece of fish looks quite a bit. I think it wrapped up beautifully. Looks like a nice blanket. So we're coming up on our 20th anniversary at the Scenic. It'll be April 1st will be our 20th, and that's exciting. Most businesses and restaurants specifically don't last 20 years. You know, we've gone through the second deepest depression financial, we've had a housing crash, we've had all these things that have happened. We're on the outskirts of a community, we're way north, we're affected by our weather, so I'm pretty proud of what we've been able to accomplish. And then we would serve this just a little bit open, almost like you're creeping in, taking a peek at what's inside. And I think in the classic American approach, the question will be, do you want fruit or fries with this? But I think as we go into the whole Scandinavian piece, I think what we're looking for is pickled beets. And we have one other thing that speaks this time of the year for fruit. This would be our herring fish sandwich. Why did you get into fishing? Like, it's cold out there.
Oh dear.
And wet.
I get asked that regularly, and all I can say is I think there's some crazy Nordic genes running around this body that took over. I was actually in the human services years ago. I kind of burnt out. It's just, I love to be out. I need to be out. Yeah. And cold doesn't bother me. I'm independent. I'm everything. I'm the mechanic, the accountant, the salesman, fish cleaner. It's the way to go. I like it. Yeah, I don't want to be bigger. And part of it also is that these herring, you know that, they disappear. And that's what's so nice about you guys is it's just an open door policy. When I have the fish, I bring it in. And when they're not here, you know they're not here, and I don't show up. And so not having any overhead, I can withstand sometimes 2 months. There's just no fish. I have no income. I still have to check the nets all the time. And then a lot of times the weather just isn't there.
Yeah.
Now, how did you get into this business? This is a tough business. And
well, you're saying that you like, you know, kind of the solitary piece and being outside. I do too. So it's kind of weird that I have a lot of overhead and I'm not alone and I'm inside and it's hot in the kitchen. Maybe that's why I like to be in the cold climate. I think the interest in the restaurant for me was, I've hearkened it down to maybe 2 parts. I don't know if they're appealing or not, but one was on the art side of life. And there's a creative part, and I think the idea of having fun with your food. I like that as a medium. And then I think I share with you the entrepreneurial piece where I like being able to be involved with my own destiny in my own day. I think you and I probably share the idea that we don't worry about how many hours we work. I haven't counted hours in probably 25 years. I just do what needs to get done. I take more pleasure in seeing that people enjoy the food that we put on the plate than actually needing to be in front of it. I like the food to be in front of me. But we both have chosen to some degree a tough life, but a rewarding one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope you like the herring. You caught it.
I love the herring.
I've never had this sandwich. I wonder what it's like.
Yum.